Carp Anglers. My name is James Sanders and I am the CEO of Team Fish Fighters. You see that little red button down there? It says subscribe. Hit that subscribe button plus the bell button and you automatically be notified with our great carp adventures. Thanks for watching.
Hey, Carp Anglers, this is James Sanders and Tommy Pearson from Team Fish Fighters, and this is Carp Talk.
This is Carp Talk. What is this? 13? 14? What Brian Hazard
12.
Brian Hazard was 12 or 13.
But real quick before we get Gilbert Huxley on our podcast after called, let's talk about real quick. Now, not this weekend, but next weekend, February 19th.
No, it's not Valentine's Day.
No,
it's after that.
It's
the guy. This is the guy's Valentine's gift.
Guy time.
So you guys better get ready for this.
The guy time. So.
But it's the chili meat.
Yep. After the whole hearts, love thing, and Valentine's stuff is all over.
Yeah.
All that girly, mushy stuff.
Yeah, with James, we know what you're gonna be
Oh,
doing.
I know. We'll get my groove on. But anyway, yes, the chili meat. February 19th. Oh yeah, it's gonna be exciting. Lots and lots of carp anglers going to show up from all kinds of different states.
Hopefully Jim Diamond stops by too, man. Shout out to him. I seen him when we was out to dinner like a couple days ago. Hopefully he stops in there and sees everybody. You know, he's the originally one that started this.
Well, you want to know God's truth?
Who is it, Gilbert?
Gilbert.
Well, Gilbert
and Rick Slinker and the Carpinator.
Yeah.
And a couple other guys. Matter of fact, Gilbert will probably tell us the story once he gets on here, but they all started the Here's Your Carper.
And Jim was just a sponsor, wasn't he?
Yeah, back
He
in
was
the
a
time.
sponsor of it.
A couple of years later, Jim got involved.
Well, that's pretty cool that we're like all this history about the chili meat and everything like that, and it's a good thing that we get to take it over. We have taken it over the last couple of years, besides last year because
very
of COVID.
successful. Very successful.
But too, though, it really goes to show like how much you guys out there that are watching the carp community, and how nice and tight that we are,
as a carp family. Yeah.
Because anything that we get to raffle off from the people out there, like that's what helps keep our team going. You know what I mean? Like paying for these trophies and everything for the 2022 year and stuff like that. Unless we get a big sponsor to step up and like, you know what, I'm gonna pay for all the trophies for this year. You know what I mean?
So, like, real quick, give me some cards or tell me who's going to show up at this chili meat. So,
Yeah, how many people? Anybody that's
thumbs
watching
up,
gonna be
hearts,
coming?
whatever. Valentine's Day. Give some love.
But yeah, hey, don't forget too, those that are watching, if you have a business or you just have something laying around that's been around for a while and you want to donate to the team to help us raise money, either bring it to the chili meat and just give it to us then to go right on the table. And like I said, all the money that we raise during this chili meet is going towards the carp community. Paying for these trophies for the tournaments and stuff that we have throughout the year. We appreciate Jim and everything he did, but he's not able. I'm not saying he's not able. He's just not doing that type of stuff anymore.
No.
So we have to do what we got to do as a team to raise any type of money that we can, to keep everything going.
And exactly what he said. And also cause carp anglers coming to, we got people from Ohio, Illinois, Michigan, North Carolina, South Carolina. It's all a lot of Southern boys, West Side boys. And there are a lot of people, they're bringing pots of chili.
Oh yeah, there'll be everything there.
Free
If
drinks,
anybody watching, if you guys come, you guys want to bring anything.
Yep.
I wish there was a way that we can, figure out a way because of COVID, if you're bringing chili, try to put it at a booth somewhere. That way we could do a chili cook-off.
Oh yeah, we talked about that. I like to see a chili cook-off. Get a little trophy out. Maybe have a bunch of pots in it, and then have a cup in front of each.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Voted for that one.
Yeah, do something. Something different.
Right.
Just for the people.
Yeah, okay, there you go. So it's February 19th. Doors going to be open at 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
And if you're a vendor, I mean,
Yeah.
if you're a vendor, we're gonna be there about, what time we going, on the 18th?
Oh, before the.
Yeah, like if a
I
vendor
haven't
is
talked
from
to I haven't talked to
Sears,
Sears yet, but
we'll get a hold of him within the next day.
I would
or
have
so.
to say it'd be sometime after 6 p.m.
Yeah, sometime after 6 p.m. on the 18th, we're gonna be there to allow some of the vendors to actually pick your area, pick
Yeah.
your spot if you're here, if you're in town, and you want to come in and set up the night before.
I was going to tell you all the people that's going to show up. I don't have my list with me.
I know it's a bunch.
Yeah, we got over 18. We got over 18 vendors.
And
But
you never know, we might get a couple last minute people that decide to come too, because it's still over like a week and a half away.
yeah,
So
yeah. I mean, we should. I like to see
I like to see Proline Baits come.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Proline
Like they've
Baits.
been doing a lot of good things
Uh-huh.
for, like they're being smart. They're not trying to jump straight into like the carp and stuff like that. They've got all their other products like for bass and crappie and bluegill getting into.
trilogy baits too.
Yeah.
Oh, they're
That's
on
what I'm
the-
saying. They're making it mainstream. So in
Right.
in return, eventually they're going to look at hey you got these carp flavors.
Yeah, yeah.
And, we might as well sell them too. You know what I mean?
But,
Like they're trying to go in a good way. It's positive.
I'm still waiting on a last minute word from the Pass family. Trilogy bait coming or not.
Yeah.
So they're supposed to be giving me an answer here soon. So hopefully.
Hopefully they come too.
Yeah.
Like when they come up here too.
Oh yeah, I love them. They have some great products.
Didn't we find out that we got a do we have a sponsor for the keg yet?
Yes, we do have a sponsor for the cake. Tony Stout.
Tony Stout.
Yes.
Stout's Heating and Cooling too.
No, I think it's just him.
He don't do that,
No, he said he's gonna get right back in hot and heavy and cool car. He ain't gonna be there.
but he owns Stout Heating and
Yeah.
Cooling though, right?
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. So you want to give Gilbert a call?
Yeah, let me go and
and,
give him a call, get him on the phone.
let's get him on the horn. That's what they call it back in the day. The horn. Can you still say that? The horn.
The horn.
The horn. I don't know.
Hello.
Gilbert Huxley.
Yes,
Yeah, this is James Sanders and Tommy Pearson. You are on Carp Talk. How you doing, brother?
How you doing? How you doing, Gilbert?
I'm doing very good, Tommy. Good to hear your voice.
Yeah, man. How you been doing, brother?
I've been doing well. I have the farm, but
Oh, that's right.
Not ready to go, man.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. You had a little heart attack last year.
Yeah, I had a small AFib heart attack and
Yeah.
kind of lost my vision. I'm back.
Yeah.
Almost over 100% now, so.
Wow. I mean,
Strength is there, endurance has come back, everything's there.
yeah, when people heard about you having that heart attack last year, I mean, you had a overwhelming prayers and thoughts came your way and all that kind of stuff. You
Oh,
know.
it touched my heart, guys, from all the responses and the prayers, and like you said, the hearts. It's not until something like that happens that you realize how many friends and how many people really do care.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but you gotta also, the way, from somebody on our side and our perspective looking at it, we look at everything that you've done though too, though, Gilbert.
Yeah. Overwhelming.
You've done a lot that is overwhelming for the carp community over the years. From you starting at a pay laker, going all the way until who you are today.
As a wild card.
You know?
Your name carries weight with me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and I've always known that, Tommy, and I really appreciate that.
The legendary Gilbert Huxley. That's what they called you.
Yeah. Big deal is something about making and how it really, why I think all these years of fishing has come to a peak for me, and I think maybe what I got out is hey, look at the carp in a different way.
Yeah.
American people always took that the carp was a tri-face only because there's so many other fish better to eat and easier to fix. Now, carp at one time fed the United States after the Civil War. So I think that's where this lure came from. it's a trash fish. Well, no one ever considered it as a sport fish.
Right.
So I think my main goal in the carp community was to communicate the fact that the carp can be one of the greatest world's greatest sport fish. Overseas, it's already there, and here we're slowly coming around.
We're
and
coming.
thanks to you folks, doing things like this gets the word out.
We're trying.
Well, we appreciate that,
Thank you,
Gilbert, you
Gilbert.
know, but you started a lot of things in tournaments that are going around and stuff like that, you know. You was actually, part of the team too. You still are part of the team, if you ask me.
Yeah, it was easy to do.
Yeah.
There was so many people eager, and the big league carp community starting to branch out, and a lot of people wanted to get out into the wild, plus keep their pay lake, everything separate, but they ventured out and did very well in my tournaments back in the old days. So, I started as a pay laker.
Right.
I
Yeah.
have about 12 years as a pay laker at Indy, and not Indy, but back then it was Leonwall.
Lamb wall.
And then, the wheel.
A wagon wheel.
Yep. And then you got 1111. So those three places was my life. And I would venture out in the wild to catch carp to sell on Indiana Boulevard to make money to pay for the next time I go to the Bay Lake.
Yeah.
So it was addiction in both ways. And finally, what changed me from going from pay lakes at all, and it's just the fact that I was starting to be told that I couldn't put this in my bait, I couldn't do that, and you couldn't use this, you couldn't. I said, well, wait now. A passion for fishing isn't someone telling you can't do something.
Right.
But that was back in the old days. It's a lot different now. Once again, thanks to the Fish Fire Club, and brought those two together.
Yeah, we tried.
And I was part of that early in the
You
years,
was.
and I really enjoyed
Yep,
it.
he really was, and we appreciate all that, Gilbert, for sure. You already know.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Gilbert. I mean, you already just gave us like a little smidge of about yourself. I mean, but why don't you go ahead and more details about what you do and what you've been doing now?
I'm a veteran of Vietnam, and I was raised here in Indiana. And when I came home from Vietnam is in 1970. Most of my friends had went to drugs, and so I was a big old beer Marine Corps guy.
Right.
So I ended up changing the people that I ran with, and I ended up with some fishermen.
Oh, there you go.
And with bluegill, crappie, the works. Found the wipers in Eagle Creek, loved that because that was catch and release.
Right.
And then once I took my daughter out, probably she was about 8 years old, and she's 42 now. I took her catfish. She wanted to catch a catfish, so I took some night callers, and holy moly, did I hook onto about a 10-pound carp on a little rig, and that I never fished for anything else ever again after that. But I've lived here all my life, and right here in Indiana, and I've traveled quite a many states and tournaments. Texas, Tennessee, all over Ohio, Illinois, Michigan. So it's been a great 30 years of fishing, and actually more than that, it's almost 40 now.
Wow.
Yeah.
40 years.
Definitely been
fishing
doing it a long time.
Exclusively for carp.
All right.
And that's been my legacy. I used to say when I was younger that my wife was my passion and carp fishing was my love.
Yeah.
But now that I flipped that, in years, I flipped it where carp fishing is my passion and my wife is my love.
Yeah.
So, and it really is. And I did an article once, I don't know if you guys read it a long time ago, about addiction and being right on the fine line as passion. And the addiction part was walking through the store looking to see if you come up with a different bait, and the passion was the actual going out and doing it.
Yeah.
Do you have a copy of that still?
I mean, what is it? Was that the Cam magazine?
Yes, it was in one of the not the Cam, in Carp Anglers.
Carp Anglers Group, gotcha.
You should have him You should have him send it to you.
Yeah. I probably could find that on the Carp Anglers Group, couldn't I?
Oh, there's a lot of different stuff all over there for the backup, and then of course I had my little the picture window articles in Cam magazine.
Yeah.
Stories about the catfish lady and about Rick almost killing himself.
Oh.
And he was really embarrassed on that one. So, but anyway, but that's the thing of it was, I wanted to keep that going any way I could to get that word out about the carp fishing being such a great sport fish.
It is.
It was seminars, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that, the Boat Sport Travel Show.
I did seminars for 17 years.
Yeah.
Boat travel show, and I used to get a booth for the payment for the seminars.
Yeah.
And it tagged a Carp Anglers Group and Hoosier Carpers, which was the club that I and Stan Godjo had come up with, the Hoosier Carpers. And it was started out with 8 or 9 guys, and in 4 years we were 190 strong.
Wow. Isn't it crazy?
And, and it went on for like that for a few years, but because I kept doing seminars and the booth would be great. And I had you guys, I had other people, Rick Slinker, oh my gosh, he spent many, many hours in a booth with me. And I go on Bill Smith. You remember old Bill Smith?
Oh, Bill, yeah.
Many, many hours in that booth, signing people up. They joined tag, they automatically became a Hoosier Carper. That was the little catch.
Yeah.
I got the money for the big club, but you automatically became a Carper, Hoosier Carper for free.
Oh, yeah.
And that it really went wild. I mean, and then that's where the tournament started. The Hoosier Carper Tournament Trail. Jim Donlin and me and Rick Slinker are the ones who came up with that tournament trail.
And basically, if anybody didn't know what the tournament trail is a thing that I think Gilbert and Rick Slinker got together with Jim, and then they talked about starting like kind of like a bass trail.
Like a bass trail
Oh, yeah,
series.
Yeah, series. And basically, you went basically to different parts of Indiana, and you had a big, a bunch of people, carp anglers met at one spot. And then they basically all traveled to one section of part of the somewhere in Indiana, and they fished that area for a while. And it was a tournament. There's a little tournament they had.
Be nice to get them back going, man. It'd be nice if we can come up with enough sponsors, man, that help sponsor that.
But it's like Jim was the heart and soul of that, with the whole sponsoring thing.
Yes, he was, and he ran the tournament trail for a while there.
Yeah,
he did.
Not only that, but run his business at the same time too. You know what I mean? And we wasn't the only ones though. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like if it was catfish guys or if it was crappie guys, bluegill, he was helping. He was helping everybody out.
Oh yeah.
I'll tell you what, if you ever want to get a podcast, you need to get Jimmy Dahmer.
I was just thinking that just a second ago. Right when, boom. I was just thinking that.
Every species that there is in fish, he was a sponsor for.
Yeah, he did, man.
The kids, oh my gosh, you wouldn't believe the number of poles I've watched him give away to kids.
Yeah, I remember that.
When their parents are buying the hot shot stuff, and he'd turn over and get a little Zepco 202 and a rod and say, here you go. And the dad turned around, 2 of his kids got rod and reels, and he didn't have to pay for them.
What was Gilbert knows the question. What was on a bumper sticker of the Jim always put on there? You remember?
Take a kid fishing.
Take a kid fishing. That's right.
Kid fishing.
Take a kid fishing.
I've got 2 or 3. I'm keeping his keepsakes.
Yeah, I still got some myself.
Yeah, take a kid fishing, and he had 2 different ones.
Yeah.
One was with an Israel mirror,
Yeah.
with a big nose that comes straight out the bottom on a carp, and the other was a normal common.
Yeah, I remember those. Yeah, I think I got those 2 still.
I got both.
Yeah. I mean, he had other species too, but I mean, it was all for There's a bass one, and there's a crappie, and a maybe bluegill.
Bluegill one too, I think.
Yeah, catfish.
And pictures in his shop, remember that?
Oh my gosh, everywhere, everywhere.
Yeah, and I was lucky enough to get one up there myself, catching it with a 25 canal.
Oh no.
Fish. And that was the biggest fish in the canal I've caught since then, but now they're getting 30s down there,
So
Here a little bleak canal.
now you're now we'll go ahead and I got a couple questions, but I'll say those towards the end.
Sure.
You want got a question for real quick?
Yeah, Gilbert, when did your your passion for carp fishing start, you think? Like when you really knew?
Oh yeah, to this day, why I switched over to carp and only fished for carp. I can remember the day, clear as day. I was like I said, when I first started fishing, it was a little crappie, bluegill, bass, pound of wipers. And then I went up to Indiana Beach and saw the carp, and I thought, wow, boy, there's some big old fish, And so then that night, my brother-in-law said, you want to have some fun? We'll get some cornflakes and go down and catch some carp. And I thought, well, okay. Well, I caught the first one, and I never looked back again. I never fished for anything else. And we were catching these 15-pound river carp, and you know how they fight river carp.
Yeah.
And I had these little bitty 6-foot rods like you guys use the Bay Lakes, and it burned up the Deco, and it burned up the Cardinal, and the reels, like that.
It's a powerful fish.
Experience, and that was in 1976.
I was 6 years old, Gilbert, back
You
then.
were 6 years old.
I was
He was daddy's little squirt.
yeah, I wasn't even thought of yet.
Oh boy, that dates me.
Yeah.
How old are you, Gilbert?
I'm 72 years old.
See, now me and Tia was just talking about that, my wife, and we was like wondering, I said, I think he's pretty much close to our dad's age,
Yeah, I'm an old angler,
Yeah,
Oh, that's another,
He's the GOAT, all right.
that's another angler, nickname people called you, the Godfather of carp fishing.
Different sections of the club, the
Yeah.
social, of the carp community. It was up north. They all call me the Godfather up there.
Yeah.
And then it was Tommy's guy. He calls me different things all the time. And some of them I can't mention here. But anyway, but yeah, I've had many nicknames, and I've been proud of all of them, every one of them.
Yeah,
And the thing is, I try to be humble, but
You can't.
When you work and love something so much,
I know.
and you get a chance to talk about it, it sounds like you're not humble. But I am very gracious to a lot of people that made my fishing trips and everything such a wonderful thing for me in my life.
I'm kind of like I feel like I'm kind of like you a little bit, Gilbert. When I talk about carp fishing, I get a big head, and I know I do, and I love it. I'm gonna.
I'll never forget our trip, James, in 2016.
Oh.
Yeah, that time he paid you all that money to let you
Hold his
let you hold his fish.
Oh my goodness! What a nice, beautiful trip, and we did on that trip, and we thought we were going to have bad luck, because of the weather, but boy, it cleared out, and we had sunshine, and you would think that with no fronts, the fish wouldn't be fighting.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But it was solid. Solid 6 days of beautiful skies, and
He's talking about Dale Hollow, for people didn't know.
over 120 some carp caught. It was just, it was just unreal.
Yeah, it was
unreal. My PB, everybody had a PB.
Oh yeah, we.
And I
Was that when we went?
No, that was,
that was before I went
I
down.
watch it every once in a while. I love it.
Yeah, that was I think it was like next year. It was a next year thing.
Well, yeah, it's this year. I've got some exciting news.
Yeah.
I just got it. I told you earlier.
You did.
Rick Slinker and Kenny Mack were the two people that sort of took over the guide service that I somewhat had going.
Right.
And they started out, and they've got a guide service there in Del Hollow. And they had gifted me, I didn't pay a single penny on this trip because of what I've done and getting back, came up younger, in the younger group. And he always looked up to Rick and I, and so he got part of it. And he said, we're going to bring you to Del Hollow.
Nice.
Of course, Rick was really on it with a package where all I do is step off the boat.
The boat, that's
into
it.
my swim, into my site. Everything's there already set up, baited. I get the reel and I cast right from the boat.
Game on.
As soon as I get done, I walk on the island and cast.
Wow.
Do you know how much how much they charge for a trip like that, Gilbert?
Well, I don't know the base price, and here's a good way of finding out, though, is USA.
And this is for the people that's watching.
USACarpGuide.com.
Yep, I'll put a little saying on the bottom of the screen later on after I get the video together.
Well, I
What's
appreciate
going on,
that. I know
everybody?
Rick is, because he didn't do this for advertisement. Both those guys gave this from their heart, because 3 years ago, I had come to the realization that I would never be able to go out to the islands again, because I'm not physically capable of doing all that work. So that year was very, very sobering for me.
Yeah.
But I've gotten on and watched people go, and just love to hear the stories. And to get this gifted, where I can go and fish for 5 days and on the islands, is going to be a trip of a lifetime for
Oh,
me.
I bet. I'm excited for you. I
I
really
am
am.
too, because I guarantee you're going to go down there and hit a new PB.
Oh, man.
I can
What
see
is your
it.
PB down there?
Oh, there's 50s there, and I'll never think I'll get one, but you never know. I never thought I'd ever get a 40. And,
Yeah, that's right. I was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there.
You got to have faith, right?
Yeah.
Gilbert was there when I got my PB too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, I will never forget that. And this goes
Trips, yeah.
This goes to show you guys how what type of person Gilbert is when it comes to fishing. We have been there for like 3 days. We're in Del Hollow, and everybody around me is catching fish, and I'm sitting there, and I'm throwing the same pickups and the same flavor. You know what I mean? Like that year we was using cherry. We was on them pretty good, and I wasn't at first. I was getting kind of mad, and Gilbert was like, "Man, everybody stay away from TP, boy. He's mad."
I'm still trying to stay away from you.
And then Gilbert was like, he came over. He's like, Tommy. He was like, I've been down here year after year. He was like, move your pot over here next to mine. And I'm talking about, as soon as I did it, boom, I started catching fish. Man.
Boom.
And I hit my PB on that trip too. I hit which one did I hit? I hit my common.
Yeah.
I hit my common on the island at
Yes,
at
I was-
34.4.
Yeah, I was, believe it or not, you're back there hooping and hollering, and I'm sitting there going, holy moly, what, did I do something good here or what?
Yeah, so he definitely helped me get on the
So
fish
look
that
at my
time.
heart. I got my heart filled, and the look on your eyes and the way you treated me the rest of that trip, it was just pure gold.
It's a magical moment.
Yeah,
It
man.
really is. Tommy and I got a lot closer after that.
Yeah, for sure, man. I hope. Do you know when you're actually going down there, Gilbert?
Yes, I'm going to be there, and now Rick's going to be there the whole month of April, and even the past. He's got some people coming from Florida early in
Nice.
late March, and then April, I'll be there from the 9th to the 14th.
Okay, sweet.
Right in prime time.
What is it? When in April?
Yeah.
April 9th to the 14th, and he's still got spots for sale on that trip.
He's trying to get one. Take my boat down there.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go straight out on the island.
That'll
Look,
be something special.
he hopes he ain't watching. Hey, Gilbert.
I hear you guys. guys.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you?
Hey, Gilbert, buddy, on one of our guys on live, Brian Banks, he was asking if you was going to be at the chili meet this year, or are you going to stop by?
We're at, I'm going to be at the chili meet. Yes, I am.
Yes, he will be at the chili meet. For those that are watching, Gilbert will be there.
I will be there, and I'll be representing WCB, of course.
Yes, that's another question.
That was going to be one of our next questions.
World Classic Bait.
Hey, go ahead and give your shout out now.
So-
World Classic Baits, I've been with them for so long. They've made me such a great fisherman in my eyes.
Yeah.
The skill's one thing, but the bait has to be number one. And number one for me was World Classic Baits.
Yep.
It still is.
It's a great product. Very great product.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely good for, mixing your wild baits together and stuff like that for
Yeah.
particles and stuff too.
They got a good variety of tiger nuts, flavored tiger nuts, corn, jumbo corns. They got
On
panko.
and on.
Yeah.
It's,
Sprays.
sprays.
Yeah.
Booster and glug and
Oh yeah, the glove.
all works. I mean, they've been around.
How long have they been around?
Came from overseas. Magdalena and
Yeah.
Eric. I mean, and Magdalena runs the company, but she's WCB, and they brought all that from over from Bosnia.
Ernie. Is it Ernie? Is it Ernie or Ernest? Ernie.
Ernie and Magdalena.
Yeah.
Ernie, he's a trade tile setter.
Okay.
High dollar, and she actually probably runs. I'm not trying to get in her business, but she does such a great job.
Oh, yeah, she does a great
going
job.
over and getting that done.
I was kind of hoping to be at chili meet, but we're having a hard time communicating.
World
with each other.
Classic Baits, Todd.
Yeah, and the thing is, Rick is going down in 2 weeks to get things going for us. So, and I get the order in and everything, but there'll be some new surprises after this trip on new baits.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
How long you been with World Classic Bait? It's been sponsored by them.
Well, I'm going to say it's close to 15 years now. Now, Rick was on he's been about 20 years.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Man, that's some history right there.
He got offered after winning the national championship.
And I also want matter of fact, Rick is on a bag of World Classic Bait, and so are you.
Yeah, we're pro staff.
Yeah.
We're the only two in Indiana. Actually, there's only one other, some other ones over the states, but in Indiana it's got two, and that's the only state that's got two.
Nice.
Look, we got Richie Eldridge on there. He said World Classic Baits.
Yeah,
Presley Tyler said you taught him how to cast long distance.
that's true. That is true.
Actually, I have to admit something. Gilbert taught me that too. Long casting.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
He always told me, okay, put your arms up, one arm straight, your left arm goes straight, your right arm right by the reel, and then what is it? And then what? Man,
Like a pivot.
yeah, pivot. You just.
I'm a good teacher, but I can't do the distance.
I tell you, there's some.
Hey, don't forget to share this live.
There is some carp anglers that knows how to do some serious casting far.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you want to see some real casting go on?
Little Bodine can cast hard.
Oh, yep. Oh my gosh. He's from Kentucky, right?
Adam Vassal.
Oh, Adam Vassoff. Yeah.
Powerhouse.
He's got a power to him. He's got.
Oh, he'll snap a log in a heartbeat if you don't watch it. I mean,
Yeah.
you better have a good quality rod in his hand. He's got power. I mean, raw natural power.
I was, last year and the year before, well, not the year before, but last year when we went to New York in the spring, they had that casting tournament too.
Yeah.
Right.
I took the very first year they had that. I took 3 of my 13-foot
The Huxley rods.
rods and sponsored a team to fish that tournament up there, and they were right there with the big boys. But
Nice.
Free spirits, you can't beat them. You can't beat them.
Yeah. They got some good rods
They had
too.
no test curve, and he's was out casting everything.
Yeah.
Now, you've placed in that tournament, correct?
Yes, I did. I did. We came. Let's see. It was third place, me and Rick Slinker.
Okay. And sponsored by World Classic Bait.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
World Class Baits, and then also my rod maker sponsored the big tournament bees.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet, sweet.
Closest I ever got was 5th and paid out top 4.
Yeah.
But I've also gotten 7th twice. I've only fished it twice. The first time I got 5th. Second time we got 7th.
Well,
When you guys came to my campsite after that tournament, we came up there to the shack on the river.
Yep.
You guys were wore out.
Yeah, we was tired.
that's the one you came, Steve Israel. And,
Yeah, rest in peace, Stephen Israel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, man, we gave it hell that tournament. We caught so many fish, man. Our problem is once we filled up our top 10, our bottom fish was like 23, 24 pounds.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
every fish that we caught after that was 21, 22, 23, 21, 21, 21, 23. So we couldn't gain no weight, man. And that's how we went from first place to 5th place. And we couldn't gain no weight because we were just stuck in these. Like, it's crazy. Like, we're just letting 21 at, you know, it's a Pay Lakers dream to go down there to be able to hit so many 20s. I'm talking literally back to back to back to back to back to back.
Beautiful place up there.
Like, I watched Richie Eldridge this year, you know what I mean? Like, he's out there like Rambo. I'm not.
Iceman.
Hey, I'm not playing. He's out there like
I call
Rambo.
him Iceman.
He's got his overalls on. It's hot. He ain't got no shirt on. He's got his rod up like this, and he's got a 20. You know, because their smallest fish was like 25, 26, so they're letting 24,
Wind
25
blowing through his
go.
hair.
Like it ain't nothing, man.
Like Fabio.
Hey, he did too. I'm not playing. He was in the water, and the people in the boat was coming by and watch Richie. If he's still watching, he'll tell you because he did. Like, these people are coming by, so he pulls this 25-pound carp out of the water. You know what I mean? Without netting it, he's just grabbing because they're catching so many of them. So he just unhooks it, whatever, and just lets it go, and then walks back, and then he's doing the same thing again because they was just tearing them up.
I know, and that's almost the same scenario that Rick and I went through on that one tournament. Was that we were in first place the whole time.
Yeah, the whole time since it started.
The last 3 hours is dead hours, where you don't know what's going on.
Yep.
Is that blackout?
Yeah.
They call it the blackout hours?
We were in third.
Yep.
And we couldn't better our score either. It was like we needed a good 28 pounder, and it kept getting 25, 26, 24, 23, just like that, exactly like your trip. Couldn't gain an ounce in that 3 hours, not an ounce.
But hey, we had a blast though,
Oh yeah, but I remember you guys being so tired.
I was disappointed. I think we was all disappointed. You know what I'm saying? Because we knew we was in first place the whole tournament. We just didn't think that we would drop that much. You know what I mean?
Oh, we were seeing it, because they were posting it, and we all thought Indiana's going to finally win one, and then the last 3 hours went far, and that's what happened. But
To me, with Indiana, it's like you're always the bridesmaid, but never the bride. You come so damn close every single time, but
We did pretty
we're going to
good.
get some nice. We give them the money. We give them their money's worth.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like we definitely went down there and gave it our all. Like this year when we went, like we didn't catch a fish this year for probably 45 hours, 48 hours. We didn't catch a fish.
yeah,
And then we still came back and still got 7th place, and we had 3 17-pounders on there, but we did hit a 36 and some change. I did hit we hit a 36 and some change. Was it Zachary Peak did? Zachary Peak also hit a 27, and then my biggest was I hit a 32 14. And then I had like 2 24s, a 19, a 20, and a couple 17s, and that's what got us on the board.
Okay.
yeah. But see, those river carp, they go up and down, and you could actually follow them if you if you had some kind of communication system where you could follow where the swims are, and the guys catching them, and they move on, they stop catching them, and down there they are.
Man, Gilbert, man, this year, like,
They just don't stop.
if Richie's still watching, he'll tell you, hey, they built a wall, Gilbert. Like they really built a wall so them fish would come down the river and just hit that wall and swoop right back around. Like there ain't no sense of me going no further. I can just stay right here.
Richie's a 3-time winner, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a beast. You can't,
Yeah.
but man, we didn't have nowhere near the equipment that they had, man. And for us to come back and
I've been there.
and hit some big fish like that right at the end when they,
What was you using down there, up there? Was you using the boilies or the?
Yeah,
Okay.
we were using boilies.
boilies and always pack.
That's what I heard. Everybody uses boilies a lot, but it's
We used that new one, well, it's not new now, that banana tiger nut.
good. Oh,
And it
nice.
was very, very, very successful. It was in beta or test, you might say.
Right.
And we came in third with that bait, and so we put it on the market.
First time I was up there, I did really, really good on just plain puffs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like we hit a lot. I hit a lot. I'm talking about. It got to the point where I was just throwing nothing but 2 puffs on a hook and casting them out there, and just as fast as I could set it down, they was dripping it.
You can't really get puffs from the store to go back.
Sure.
No, you got to take. Well, you got to take enough down there with you.
Yeah.
Down in Texas, guys, same thing would come in. Here we are with boilies. Everybody's baiting with boilies. They're using boilies. The guys with grit from South Carolina wins it every year.
Yeah.
So, and that just tells you it's not what they usually like, it's what they want.
Exactly.
Yep.
Having the right bait at the right time and the right place will make you a winner. You don't have either one of those three, you're not going to win a tournament.
No. Because you're right. Because I was down there seeing. I was, we was doing the boilie thing too, but we was throwing pack on top of our boilies. You know what I mean?
That's what I do.
That's but I started fishing close, and once I started fishing close, like it was like I don't know what it was. It was really, really crazy because Justin Keaton was fishing where I was. And he caught like 10, 11 fish right there, but they was all 9, 10, 11 pounds. Like, they got to be 15 or bigger to even get on the board.
Oh, real quick.
They call them, you know what they call those dinks?
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah. Real quick, people on the Facebook.
25 is a dink.
Real quick, people on Facebook. Do you guys got any questions for Gilbert Huxley? Let us know, and we'll ask.
Yeah, we'll ask them for you. Or
Glad to
what.
answer anything.
So, but let's talk. Of course, the what is it? 18th annual Hoosier Carp Chili Meet's coming up,
Yeah, I'm
And-
19, I'll be there.
and you are the one kind of basically started. You and a couple other Hoosier Carper anglers got together. Why don't you kind of give us a little bit of a brief story of how it got all started and all that stuff, and
Your carp.
tell me the anglers that was involved.
Yeah, because we want to know this because obviously, we're in charge of doing the chili meat now, so we was just trying to see where it started, where it founded. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the chili meat actually started as a yearly meeting to make the schedules for whatever we were going to do. We did social events. We'd schedule 6. We were at one of these dicks in one of their meeting rooms.
I was there.
Standing room only.
I was there.
And we would plan 6 venues for social and then 6 tournaments. And we'd agree on dates and stuff, get that all recorded. And then we'd have, after that meeting, everybody brought their little chili things, and we'd have a little sort of a semi-contest on the best chili.
Okay. So there was a contest for chili meat.
Every year it became a chili meat, but then we didn't have meetings no more. After I had sort of retired from being a leader, we didn't have meetings anymore, and so then the chili meat came up as an event, a standalone event.
Oh.
And that's where it's come today. Now Jimmy had put the tables in and had booze, and you guys expanded that to this big nice place we go now.
Yeah.
And you've expanded it, the chili meat way beyond beliefs of what we came up with having 3 or 4 chilies on a back table in a meeting. So gone a long ways, but I look forward to it. I like going in and seeing everybody and seeing what's going on and then see if there's anybody that needs an order from WCB or something like that. And some people that sell it. And that principle is always going to be there with me. I'm going to try to push my bait, but in return, I get to see everybody.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's what I look forward
That means a
to.
lot because I don't know how many more times I got to go.
You got a few more in you, Gil. We know that, but we got a couple questions for you here.
Off Facebook.
Presley Tyler wants to know: have you ever fished Middle Fork and Geist? Have you ever fished either one of the two?
Middle Fork and where?
Geist.
Oh, both. Geist is pretty well developed now, so you've got to get permission to fish in certain places, and there's really no fishing I know of on Geist that you can do as just go in and set your gear up without permission. Now, Middle Fork, oh yeah. On the north end of Middle Fork, there's a pull off at 222 off of 70. And that has been, it's a nice little place now. There's been some rough stuff going on down there, but the park on the south side of Middle Fork is ideal. It's got these giant fishing docks figured out over carp water. And I've got a lot of the carp in that cove ran off one of those fingers. So yeah, Middle Fork has records of 30-pounders in numerous amounts. DNR is shocked. And I've caught a 27, my biggest, and there's been rumors of many 30s caught down on the north end.
Wow, nice.
So Middle Fork and Geist, I fished Geist before they got all, and I used to get, back then I didn't weigh them. It was back in my Pele days, and I'd go wild fishing at Geist. But when I was really young, you could get in the woods and camp all weekend. Get in the woods and fire and fish we fished for catfish back then, fish and burn the fire and put a little tent up and be there all weekend if you wanted.
Nice.
No one ever bothered you.
Next question, Gilbert, is going to be from Todd Bright. What's Gilbert's favorite color or favorite flavor?
Well, everybody pretty well knows it. It is cherry, and I love cherry boilies with a cherry. What I do, and I'll give you my tip, is I use the booster, WCB cherry booster, and then also WCB spray, the amino acid spray.
I know what you're going to say.
I mix them. I get 2 bottles and I mix them and I get 2 bottles of the blend. It makes the spray a little thicker.
Yeah.
And it gives it a boost on the sweetness of what they love and the salt too. So I mix that but cherry, tiger nut of course spray, glove is the same too. Tiger nut and cherry.
I watched you one time. You was making up your pack ball and all that stuff. You broke it open, and then
cherry cordial.
Yeah, and then you had your own little bottle.
Spray it over with like ice cream with I would get rid of that's when it's really warm out though.
Yeah.
You don't use much, and that's another tip is don't use much flavor during the early spring and late fall. The flavor is really to enhance them to bring them when it's so hot and they're not moving well. They'll actually hit a bait if it really interests them.
Okay.
Yeah. And I know the cherry thing is really, really true because the year that we was there and I hit my PB, we ran out of World Classic baits. Cherry, it was like a glug, I think, that we was using that Gilbert had. And Gilbert being Gilbert and being true to World Classic baits, he was like, this is what we're going to do. He was like, when you go into town, he was like, grab some K-Roll and grab some cherry Kool-Aid. And so, obviously went into town to get more pops or whatever, came back, we made that, and it worked just like the World Classic Baits cherry or any other cherry. We still caught fish on it because we couldn't get no more.
I dumped some booster in it, and it made it all, really cherry, and it worked very good. But you know, here's the thing about it, is that when it comes to baits, there are flavors out there that are phenomenal. But long-lasting bait to stay along with the bait, with your ground bait, there's a trick, and World Class Bait has that, and I know a couple others have the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to plug anybody, but World Classic Bait really has that acid that soaks in and draws them in. But you know, ask Jerry Pittman.
Oh, Jerry.
He caught 120 fish. He had 30 30s.
I remember that.
I mean, 10 30s.
That was the first trip I went to, wasn't it?
All on Cherry, pop-up boiling.
Wow.
Got another question here for you, Gil. Presley was wanting to know what's his opinion on field corn in the fall. Seems like the best bait.
Field corn, there's a trick to field corn. And you've got to cook it so that it is pops, it is mush. Don't have, if you're throwing kernels of corn, you've not cooked it long enough. It should be split down the middle, and you can see the meat of the corn flipped out.
Yeah.
That was a perfect fall and spring chum. And then I put it on hook bait, and it just reeks corn. I mean, you just reek it. Put a little something on it, whatever you want. Put it around a pack bait. But I add it to the pack bait too.
Yeah.
And but I love field corn anytime. Spring, fall, summer, winter, it doesn't matter. You got to bait them up. It's got to be mush. I mean, if you can barely put your thumbnail through it, it's not done. If you go like that and go whoosh, and you hear it swoosh, that is perfect.
You know what's crazy? I know exactly what he's talking about because I've seen him do it right there on the bank.
And you know why this is so important? Because if you throw raw corn or uncooked corn, there's still room for that corn to absorb moisture. So the carp will come along and swallow that, absorb more butter, and it actually swells in their stomach.
It pretty much constipates them to where.
It can terminate them, and that's one of the things you don't really know. But if you throw nothing but really cooked, squishy corn, you'll never fear that as being a problem.
Huh. Good info.
Yeah, definitely good info. So a lot of people, and if you're a wild water fisherman, you know that. That's why they don't allow cracked corn and stuff like that in your baits at pay lakes.
And don't be afraid to throw your pack bait as chum.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a trick of mine. I put my pack bait on there, but I don't use any flavors in my pack bait. It's always on the hook bait. You want your pack bait different other than squirt it on top. But I don't mix it I don't personally make cherry pack bait.
Yeah.
I don't personally make grape pack. And that's great for the pay lakes. But in the wild, you want to keep your pack different so that your hook bait is attractive.
Yeah, it's the president of N.
Now, would you look at it the same way in like pay lake style? Like now that you've got all the years and years of experience, you know what I'm saying? If you could go back and still be a pay laker and know what you know now as far as in bait wise, like what would you change? You know what I mean? Like not flavoring your bait, just using flavor picked up, or what?
I'll tell you what, you guys you are way over my head when it comes to pay lake stuff. And I'll tell you, back in the old days, it was all about the pack, and all we did was put it around the hook.
Yep.
No weight, no nothing, no flavor. Whatever you had there, for mine was wheat germ, instant with potatoes and cornmeal with a can of corn in it.
And an upside down lawn chair.
And hold on. But, I did halfway. I'm not a great pay laker. I wasn't known in the pay lakes as I was in the wild. But I did pretty good. I won some pools and stuff, but I'm not no Mr. Bright, you know what I mean?
Yeah, who, Mr. Nick Bright? Hey, you can't take nothing away from that young man.
Young story about Nick Bright. He gave his dad willing to join Hoosier Carpers. He wanted to go with the Bay Lake, and his dad said, "Can you get my boy, get him out of that Bay Lake?" I said, I'll try. I said, no, it didn't happen. And then he took off, and we never saw him again, and he became one of the Bay Lakers. I know, other than you, Tommy.
Sometimes when your heart goes somewhere,
Nick's really, really good, man. You can't take nothing away from him. He's just persistent, man. He's precise.
Probably species too.
Yeah, he just does his own thing, man. A lot of people hate on him for that, man, because he don't, just because he don't talk to everybody or whatever, man. When it comes to these tournaments, you know what I mean? Like when it comes to, we're putting money up at the end of the day, and we're really gambling. Like there is no, we could be cool before and after, but during, you know what I mean? Like it's like to him, it's like he's there for 8 hours for a job, you know what I mean? And he's, if he don't catch no fish, he's not going to get paid, you know what I mean?
Right. Exactly. And that's, the thing is, look, I did a podcast for Carp Tackle, and I mentioned that in the pay lakes, a lot of it is about the money, but the other part is who's got the best bait, who's got the best flavors. And there at a pay lake level, there are some good, outstanding stuff going on there when it comes to pay lake flavors and baits.
Yeah.
And so I don't ever try to say that I could ever come into the pay lake and even be competitive at all. I really don't, because I don't know anything about it. Heck, the one time I fished with fish fighters, Jerry Pittman had to tie me a rig. I never did a pay lake rig before.
I haven't seen Jerry Pittman in a while.
I ain't seen him since last year.
He's become a hermit.
Has he? It happens.
I seen him last year. He came out towards the end of the year, when the water starts getting colder a little bit, you know what I mean? He was coming
Well,
out.
he's an indie boy.
Yeah, that's where I seen him at.
Send him a text and remind him that it's going to be the 19th, and he'll be there.
Nice. Yeah.
He'll be there, so he's a good old guy.
Got another question for you here, Gilbert.
Yeah.
Trying to find it here.
Well, as soon as you find it, I'll go ahead and tell him my question real quick.
Go ahead.
Okay, real quick. What do you think makes a good carp angler?
Passion.
Passion.
Passion is the number one thing. My drive was passion. And that means the act of fishing and whatever goes with it. It just drives you. And also, don't ever think that you know more than someone right next to you. You can learn so much by keeping your ears and eyes open.
Exactly. Exactly.
Guys will tell you they're bait, and you didn't have to ask a question.
Yeah, but that's the difference between pay lake and wild water. When you're on the bank with some wild water guys, you know what I mean, and the guy next to you is catching fish, they're definitely going to be like, yeah, this is exactly what I'm using, buddy. You know what I mean? But when it comes to the pay lake, it's more, everybody wants to be secretive, and
cutthroat.
You know what I mean? Really it is. It's a cutthroat game, you know what I'm saying?
They'll be like with their binoculars, just checking out what color their hands are. It's like,
Oh, he's got purple hands today. Well, everybody on the lake's got purple hands.
Yeah, exactly. That's an old trick I used to do too.
yeah, but now these days, the flavors that comes out now. I mean, you could make it could be purple color, but it's a strawberry or something. So.
But and that's what a lot of the companies are doing now.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like you don't know, just because their hand's purple, that don't mean it.
Yeah.
That don't mean it's great.
No.
Because there's people are dying it now and everything. I got another question for you, Gil.
Out there that used color, and it was totally off what they smelled like. We tried that scenario. We didn't care for it. We would produce a tiny nut dark, and it was some sweet flavor, and people would confuse it, and we wanted to be known that our tiny nut is dark brown and it's darker now.
Yeah.
And we based our flavors with the color, and it mainly to keep things a little more simple and honest, you might say. But at the big lake, you've got to do everything you can. It's the same way in the wild tournament.
Right.
You don't talk about what you're using that day before you start the tournament. You keep everything secret. After the tournament, people, I used this, I threw a little bit of salt more I usually do, and boy, it worked.
About competition.
After the tournament, not before.
But quick question for you, Daniel Long. He said, "What's the best way to make soybean for buffaloes, in your opinion?"
I tell you what, I've always had good luck with soybean when I mixed it with something with buffaloes. But you got to make that simple too. And I would say you got to get a binder, which could be potato flakes or something like that.
Something sticky like a pie, like cake batter or something.
There was soybean and potato flakes, and so it packs. But soybean is, you've got to get it to that point, and I would not cook soybean, anything like that. Now, I would try to maybe mix it and throw hot water on it when you mix it.
Right.
It's really, really hot water when you're mixing soybean and potato flakes. That way you'll get the soybean in a semi-cooked way, you know what I'm saying, and then it mixed together a lot better and holds on.
Yeah. Now you gotta let that stuff sour up too, don't you?
You can, but sometimes fresh is what they want.
Yeah.
So if
Okay.
it's not what they want, you just hold on to it. It
Right.
sours out and you're on the ballpark again.
Sweet.
Hope that answers your question, Daniel.
Okay. Let's go. You give me another one. What do you prefer? So, what do you prefer the most? Lakes, rivers, ponds, or canals?
Boy, that's a good question. I've got to put a check mark by all of them.
All the above.
I'm going to have to say it's going to have to be the current.
No problem, Daniel.
Anything with a current is very challenging.
Yeah.
And the fish bite harder. Ponds and lakes, they're not athletes like the ones in the river are.
Right.
Yeah.
They're just big and strong, but the ones in the river have to keep their strength just to live, to stay in that current. So I've got to say,
There's
any rivers
Vesloff
or
right there.
anything like that with current, he's my favorite.
You said
I mean,
you said
10
Gilbert's
pounder, you get a 10
a
pounder, you
legend.
think he's 25.
So, you got what? Anybody else out there got any more questions? They want to
Yeah, anybody
ask
got any
Gilbert?
more questions? Anybody got any more questions they want to ask Gilbert while we got him on?
I'll go ahead and give you another one, Gilbert, as
Yeah.
waiting for people out there to say something.
Oh, I love this. I love it.
Yep. Here's a good one. Where is it? Because this is the one I want you. Okay. Who do you look up to as a mentor for advice on carp fishing?
That's another good question, and it comes to mind really quick, and that's David Moore.
David Moore.
David Moore, who owns Big Carp Tackle, but before those days, he was the president of the Carp Anglers Group, and I was his treasurer.
Oh, I didn't know he was the president.
Yeah, he was one of the first presidents after the main guy. Dick
Wow.
Moore was the president for about 6 years, and I was the treasurer for him, and you're second. It's not really in a club.
Right.
where the president,
Share this video,
vice
you guys.
president, Treasurer.
I gotta use the bathroom. Sorry.
The president and the treasurer run the club. One dictates, one basis. So me and I learned everything about carp in UK, Euro carping from David Moore.
Right.
I mean, he taught me some of the simplicities to the bait and how he set up, and we're great friends to this day.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He started a lot of tournaments.
Oh, yeah, I mean, he's phenomenal. He's another one that's a legend, with the community,
Yes.
carp community. He is definitely one of the legends, and so I really look up to him, and that's been my mentor, and he knows it too.
Yep. Good. Yeah, David Moore, he's a great guy. Actually, we had the pleasure to meet that first time. I mean, I always knew David Moore here and there, but to actually meet him in person was over at Westside Bait and Tackle, one of our carp chili meets, when he brought his booth there.
Yep, I remember that. He pulled out a whole trailer,
Oh,
didn't
yeah. Yeah.
Oklahoma, yep. Well, I've had the pleasure of the fish side by side with David Moore, and I beat him every time.
There you go, David.
His one little line I used to love is that I'm targeting bigger fish. Because I was catching these 10 and 15 pounders, I got tired. He goes, he gets the heck out and says, I'm targeting bigger fish. So to this day, when I'm not catching anything, I'm targeting bigger fish.
And I heard you say that before, too.
Hey, that's why I always say I got 20 pound bait. It's got to be 20 pounds or bigger for a fish to want to mess with my bait.
Yeah, I'm a specimen hunter, you know.
You want to read your last question?
Yeah. Let me see. What is one dream lake or river reservoir or something like that you would love to fish at that you've never been to?
Oh, I've never been to. Well, let me
Dream
think.
Lake.
That is outstanding. Because at every dreaming lake, it would shoot.
You're already going back to Del Hollow, so you can't.
I can't think of all. I've been there 17 years straight.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Well,
I mean, you don't have to be in the United States. It could be in another country.
It's got to be up north. It's got to be a lake up north somewhere, and I'm going to say Lake Michigan. I never went up far really north to fish for carp where the big fish are.
Now, you have fished Lake Michigan before, haven't you?
I fished Lake Michigan down the southern part.
Okay.
But, you know, where the big monster carp are up north.
Yeah.
Yeah, you.
And
So we're talking about going up in Canada, pretty close
I've
to.
got to say Canada one day is where
Yeah.
I'd love to go.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never been to Canada, and I think I would love to fish one of those big lakes up there.
All right. My turn.
Sorry, y'all better get this in.
Man, I'm talking to legendary Gilbert Huxley here, man. Let me have some camera time.
No, shoot.
I would touch your hair, but
I know, it's
it's
like,
kind of spiky today, man.
okay, what kind of advice can you give on chumming your swim to bring in the carp?
Well, I'll tell you what, and I'm going to use Del Hollow's experience as an example.
Uh-huh.
If you go to a swim that there's not been any carp angling or any carp fishing that's been done there, and you put out chum, you're going to wait 2 to 3 days before you get your first bite. But once the carp find it,
Uh-huh.
they do the old Pearson turnaround and say, oh, I don't need to go any further. Right here's everything I need, and they'll stay. The trick to that is once they start biting, keep chumming. That has been one of the biggest facts of getting high number fishing trips is just don't catch them and catch them and catch them and catch them. But after every capture, you chum that area you just caught them in, and it's going to produce another fish.
Nice.
That's the one thing I can give you out that will really work when it comes to chumming.
Carl Hamer says hello, Gilbert.
Oh, Carl, how are you? Wow, I haven't spoken that gentleman in a very, very long time. Back in the carpenter days. So hello, Carl.
Now, we had back in the day, you know, Hoosier Carper started. If I remember, he said about 8 or 9 guys. Do you remember those people, those anglers? That's kind of started the Hoosier Carpers?
Rick Slinker, myself,
Sure.
2 guys, obviously, one really bad on names at this age here, but they were 2 guys from Chicago, and Rick would be able to spit them out real quick. And then Rick's cousin who passed away, and then Stan Kyle, the other buddy of mine. But I'm trying to think. I got him a name, Dave Moran, and up north. He worked for Pepsi, but he was one of the original guys. We kept saying, they kept saying, we're not Hoosiers. I said, well, you come down here and fish with us, you're Carper.
Yeah.
So that was only 7, the original 7 that we started out with doing tournaments or doing something at Turtle Creek.
Oh, Turtle Creek. We tried to fish it. We sucked.
We
sucked
drove out there.
You caught catfish.
We got lost. We couldn't even find the place, and I had to pull over and stop this cop. The cop, he was like, it was some old man. He looked like he
lost it.
Yeah, he had a big old Colt 45.
Yeah.
He had He wasn't no plaything, man. But hey, he said you boys follow me, I'll take you right there.
He did.
And he did. He took us right to it.
Yeah,
You know, the Carpers, they were going to close and put a fence all the way down, but Hoosier Carpers, back when we had like 40 people show up to the tournament there at Turtle Creek, we made a deal with the locals to clean their banks.
yeah.
And we had 42 trash bags stacked up underneath the tower, and the city come in and picked it all up.
Nice.
Next year they bought pizza for everybody.
That's
And we
nice.
kept getting pizzas every time we cleaned up that bank.
I remember going to Turtle Creek there in one of the Hoosier Carpet tournament trails. It was a social. It was a social one.
Yeah.
It was during winter time. It was. I
The
mean.
only time we really can catch a carp.
Yeah.
It's really hot during the summer.
Oh yeah. It was. Yeah, I remember the temperature. It was 10 degrees outside, but the water temperature was 70 degrees.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
you see the steam coming up.
You know, I started that because everybody on Thanksgiving, they
Yeah.
go out squirrel hunting, or they're going to go out and do some hunting,
Yeah.
rabbit hunting. Well, I said, well, this time, when we go to Turtle Creek and do some carp hunting. So it started out that every Thanksgiving we went to Turtle Creek.
Oh.
Hoosier Carpers did, and we built it up, and we'd have, oh my gosh, 10, probably 20 to 30 people come every year.
Now I remember there's a story behind Dale Hollow. Kind of like, of course, Dale Hollow's been around. Carp's always been there at Dale Hollow, but you're kind of like you're the one that
Found him.
Not to say you found it. You kind of
I found it for the carving community.
you found it for the carp community that you basically you're kind of like one of the first ones that gave it a shout out.
Well, I want to tell you,
He made it knowledgeable.
Yeah, knowledgeable. There you go. That's
Yeah.
the word I'm looking for. You made it knowledgeable for anglers, and I'll tell the story. Because there's an angler that I wish I haven't seen in a while. I wish he comes back around.
And who's that?
I want to tell you something.
Carbonator.
Carbonator?
I got, people got mad at me for sharing Dale Hollow with the community. There was a few people that I really cared for that would communicate with me because I wanted to give Dale Hollow to the public.
Yeah.
And which I went ahead and did anyway and sacrificed to a good friend. But
If anybody's missing out, Gilbert, it's them.
yeah, I know that, but the thing is that when it came about, is that I was so thrilled to be able to hear these stories, these people going down and having a trip of a lifetime, because I felt like I was maybe a little bit responsible for that. And how I did it is I was doing seminars at the boat show, and I walked over and saw houseboat rental. And
Yeah.
I said, I'm going to take my family, take them on a houseboat trip down Dale Hollow. And I didn't know nothing about Dale Hollow. I didn't even know they had carp. And I kept saying, it's the small capital of the world.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and booked the trip. And Charlie Napier, an old friend of mine, said,
The Carbonator.
your carp rods. You gotta take your carp rods. You gotta take some bait with you. You never know. Oh my gosh. It was a trip of a lifetime. I caught 47 carp by myself in 3 days.
Wow.
And it was mirror. I ran out of this certain bait. I couldn't catch another mirror, and the commons took over.
Wow.
And Carl Hammer said Carbonator lives at lost in the past.
Who said that?
Carl Hammer.
Five mirrors,
Hammer.
big mirrors. And, it was just so rare to see so many mirrors. And that's what everybody wants, is that big numbers of fully scaled mirror.
Yeah.
Now,
Oh yeah.
really, the common mirror is more sought after by the Europeans down here,
Yeah.
because they have fully scaled mirrors up the gang, and they don't have the apple core common
Yep.
mirror. And I've got a couple. When they saw that, people were freaking, seeing all three species. It's unreal.
God's country.
Even
God's
Van
country.
Tail's been gone.
And just everybody that's out there watching, man, just to be honest, man, we're like, Gilbert's getting a lot of love on our live feed that we have going on right now. Adam Vesseloff just said his first trip to Del Hollow was with Gilbert.
Adam Vesseloff. Here, you there, Gilbert?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you remember back in the day, now when I first started getting into the Hoosier Carpers, and we had, from Westside Bait and Tackle, we actually had our own our own little website on the computer. We didn't have social media like Facebook. We back in the day it was like MySpace, but but we didn't have that either.
Or Yahoo.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes
So
30 minutes for the computer to boot
Yeah,
up.
exactly. And it took a while. I mean, but you remember, and it brought more of the carp people together, and they a lot of people had their different handle names.
Yeah.
Mine, when I first started, was called Fish Fighter 1.
I remember that.
And I mean, you had a lot of people with like the Carpinator,
That's a good question, Presley. I'll ask that in a second.
and you had I mean, Big Daddy Carpster, rest in peace.
Yeah.
Bottom feeder. You had
Kevin, who's the monitor? Kevin Tharp.
yeah. Who else? I mean, what was yours? India 1, wasn't it?
Indy Carper.
Yeah, Indy Carper. That's it. Indy Carper. I mean, Rick Slinker. Well, remember his?
Who was that?
Rick Slinker. Remember his?
Yeah, Carpio Hunter.
Yeah, Carpio.
Carpio Hunter.
Yeah, Carpio Hunter.
Yeah, that's Rick's old handle.
Carl Hamer said Hoosier Original Carp Forum was one of the few forums I was not banned from.
Yeah, like, he got banned from everything, Carl. I love you to death, but the thing about Carl, he would speak his mind, and he didn't care what he got banned. He got banned out of everything. But
Well.
you know, brother, I respect you and I understand you,
Well.
and I'd love to fish with you again.
Well, that's a true American right there. You guys speak.
Hey, Gilbert, I got another quick question for you, real quick.
Yeah.
Well, let me see. Let's see. Hang on, I'm trying to get to this question. What first started autism tournaments, or what was the reason
Yeah.
that autism tournaments was started for carp?
Rick Slinker and the girl that he was with at the time, she had a relative that had Alzheimer's.
Mm-hmm.
And he started the tournament because there was nothing in Indiana that was bringing any money to the local Alzheimer patients. So with the agreement with Alzheimer Association, Rick Slinker and her name was Denise, I think you guys might remember.
I remember.
They worked out a deal with the organization that all the money went straight to the kids here in Indiana. And we'd always have 2 or 3 autism children there, and the parents would say, yes, we saw a little bit of a check come to us directly from Altaller and said it was a tournament brought out by Hoosier Carpers.
Nice.
Nice.
And so it kept going, and then I think someone else took over after Rick backed out. Was it you, James?
Yeah, it was Team Fish Fighters. We took over for a little bit.
Yeah, and I tell you what, it goes straight to the local people no matter who's running it.
Right.
That agreement with the association, if you're still dealing with those people, they are very fair, and that money doesn't go here.
Yeah, great people.
It's hard to keep a lot of these tournaments going.
It is.
It's back to Jim Donlin. He did a lot for the team, and
It
it
is
is a lot of work. But everything is not free. Everything costs money.
Yeah,
You
the
know.
original social and the original tournaments, I bought the plaques out of my pocket.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I did that for every social event and every tournament we had every year. I did that for about 4 years until I started thinking, man. So then, Carp Angler Group started sharing some of the money, to get the blacks done and everything else. So I got some help from them because of how big we've gotten.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember back those days. I mean, jeez. I mean, we had at least a good 20, 25, between 20 to 25 cars following like a convoy, just going to that one
I
area.
know those are so neat days. I remember those days. I used to love it. We'd gather up,
Yeah.
and when we leave, it would be a caravan.
Yeah, exactly.
And buddy, you know, if one we hit by the light, they would catch up sooner or later, and it'd be just a long line, you know, far as you could see almost sometimes. Heading up north, heading down south, or east or west, you could always count on them.
Yep, definitely.
That was a fun time back in those days.
It was.
I got another question for you, Gilbert.
Yep.
If Team Fish Fighters, I mean, obviously with the help of some type of sponsors, you know, if we could bring back one tournament series, what series would you recommend?
Well, if it was a series, I would say it would have to be something where you could get a lot of people. So I would say it would have to be a White River series or maybe a lake series. There's a few lakes around here that you could put anglers all around. And that was one of the things, is that the DNR are very controlling about money tournaments.
Yeah.
They don't allow any money tournaments in their state parks. So
Yeah.
that rules out if you're going to use money. Now, if you're going to use just trophies, then that's where we could do nice venues in state parks.
And sometimes the insurance gets involved and all that stuff. And, yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'm a hardware collector. I love the hardware.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
how I am too, man. I mean, don't get me wrong, everybody loves to win money, but
Yeah.
that trophy's gonna last a lot longer.
The money's gone. I'm still looking up for all this hardware on my wall.
Here's a question for you. Who would you say, of all the tournaments that you've been through and arrivals, who would you think is your biggest competitor in carp fishing?
There's many.
Oh, I'm sure there's been. Give me
Top three.
top three, exactly. Top three.
Okay, I'll go with five.
Five.
I'll go with five. Rick Sinker's probably my number one.
Okay.
And then, what was the name of that guy from up north in Chicago that used to come down and always win our tournaments?
Oh, Tony?
No.
No.
No, the guy that always dressed up. He was always in
Oh. He's a matter of fact, he's a three-time winner of the White River Invitationals. Frank Rink.
Yeah, he just won like what? He just won a couple years ago, didn't he?
He's definitely number two. Frank Rick, I love you, brother.
All everybody watching is like Frank Rick. Marshall Bird is on there, Ricky Massey.
Really good. And then I would say back in the early days it was Charlie Napier.
Carpinator.
He was always.
I miss that guy, man.
Was always one. Yeah, back in the first beginning of the Hoosier Trail.
Yeah.
And then of course you've always got some of the ringers that come in that like Tommy Pearson. No. You know, there's a lot of people I like to, you know, give them kudos on what they've done and everything, but, you know, beating me was not that hard. I mean, I'm not really a tournament winner.
Right.
I'm a big fish hunter.
Okay, so
You know the secret
You
to
wanna give us
being a
three
big
so far,
fish
didn't you?
hunter, don't you?
you want to give us three?
Never take no pictures of small carp.
No.
No.
Yeah, I knew that. Oh, I knew that about you.
How do you only catch big fish?
Yeah.
I've asked that so many times. How do you only catch big fish? Well, that's not true. It's all how you present yourself on Facebook.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So far, you only named three anglers. So you said Rick,
Well,
Frank Rink, and
I'll tell
Charlie.
you what, if we went national, I would have to say it would be Al Sincere
Okay.
and David Moore.
David Moore.
And I can keep going because there's some mighty good ones in Carpenter group.
You remember?
Andy Sprinkle from up north.
Yeah.
Andy Sprinkle's outstanding. And you know, there's many guys that I don't even come close to being good at.
The Bosnians?
Pardon me?
The Bosnians?
Oh, yeah, the Bosnians, the whole family.
Yeah, they were.
They were all good anglers.
Yeah, they
and,
were.
They were from Kentucky, and but lately they sort of bowed out of the scene and they've been staying to themselves.
Yeah.
But Bogdan's another one.
Yeah.
That's probably one of the biggest threats I've ever faced, in angling.
Intimidator. He had that mohawk going on all the time.
Oh, but he was just now he's
Nice guy. Very nice guy.
You're talking about Jamal.
Yeah, Jamal. Yeah, exactly.
I would talk about Bogdan from K1.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's good.
Now he's a beast.
He used to be a brute, then he became a real skinny guy, but he still got the cast as a lifetime.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That man can cast, boy.
Another quick question.
I'm sorry. You remember Earl the Pearl?
Pearl the Pearl, yes, he did my bathroom.
Earl the Pearl.
He did in that bathroom.
He's a mad scientist.
Earl the Pearl, I don't remember his last name, but he was a heck of a little angler.
Yeah, he was.
And you talk about a little guy with muscles bigger than your
Yeah.
head.
Yeah.
Quick question,
How you
Gilbert.
doing, Earl?
Do you ever think somebody will put together a Baldwinsville tournament prototype, the same guidelines, everything like that on Dale Hollow Lake?
No. Del Hollow Lake will not allow that because they have kicked a couple of bass tournaments off their lake. They don't want the lake be overran,
Mhm.
and there is no bank fishing other than campsites at Del Hollow.
Yeah.
You have to have a campsite to fish a bank side.
And there's only so many campsites there, right?
The trees meet the water, so there is no bank except where the campsites are. So
Yeah.
that'll never happen, only because we'd have to rent every campsite in the whole damn Del Hollow.
Yeah.
So that'll never happen, but that's a great dream. Keep it up.
Okay.
We
That's
thought
about.
about it. As you can tell, we
Who's
thought about it.
who's that question right there? Is that question?
No, that's Frank.
Oh, okay.
Adam said Frank was out there in Dockers and they button up tearing us up.
I know, isn't it crazy?
Anybody else got any more questions for Gilbert?
I got, how about this one, Gilbert?
Okay?
What would you say is your favorite memory or a special moment in carp fishing?
Well, you know what it is, don't you?
Yeah, when you met me.
42-1.
Oh. What?
The 42-1 was, I was crying.
Oh, I remember that.
crying
Oh my
tears.
God.
It was a life achievement.
Matter of fact, we got that on video,
Yes, you do.
on Team Fish Fighters, so if you guys ever check out that video, it's good.
Oh, I tell you, when I weighed that scale, I busted down crying. Now,
You did cry.
30-pounder Shannon caught, he was virtually in tears also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you achieve a personal goal that long, I've been fishing for 40 years and always wanted a 30-pounder. Well, I've got 38 30-pounders now, but I didn't have a 40. And when I got that 41-2, I saw that double belly. Oh my gosh. I cried like a baby. And we even had to cut the camera off a little bit because I didn't want everybody to see me crying. I mean, I was emotional.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, Richie.
That's got to be number one.
Nice.
Richie Eldred said,
The eyes of a 6-year-old when you give him a worm and a bank stick.
Richie Eldred says, do you see bow hunters on Dale Hollow?
Yes, unfortunately, there are clubs surrounding Dale Hollow, but that fishery is so large and so deep,
Yeah.
they can't even scrape the surface. So, and most of those clubs will give us anglers our bow. In other words, they'll go around and not fish or try to shoot fish in our swims. Not at Dale Hollow, but I've had experience that in other places.
You know, I said this a bunch of times before. I don't really see anything wrong with bow fishing, not unless, as long as you eat it.
Yeah, as long as you're eating it, you know.
Now, if you do it for just for shooting and all that kind of stuff, and you know, that's a waste. I think.
I had a close knit with a boat club down in Del Hollow.
Yeah.
They worked the docks of the marina that I used to take the houseboat at.
Right.
All of them were bow hunters. And I asked them, I said, have you seen any carp? He said, well, about 2 weeks ago we were shooting them, but we were done shooting them now. And I said, the fishing's on. Because right after spawning, they're hungry.
Right.
And that was the first trip down there with my wife and everything, and they were. Anyway, and I told them, I said, do you just kill them and throw them in dumpster? No, sir. We always find an avenue for the fish before we have a tournament.
Yeah.
If it's cat food place we have here,
Yeah.
or if it's fertilizer, or if it's even food in some places. He says, we always have an avenue for any of the fish we kill.
Yeah.
But now I've found out that not all the clubs like that on Del Hollow,
They're not that way, are they?
live by that rule. That
Yeah.
one there at Hendrick Marina did.
I mean, I can see maybe for food, like what you say,
Like
cat
feeding
food,
animals and stuff like that.
that's borderline. But when fertilizer, come on, man, I feel like it's just that's kind of disgraceful for the carp, in my opinion. But
Well, I had a run in at a boat show with a bow angler. He started flipping the pages in my book, seeing my pictures. He goes, I shoot those and just to get rid of them. And I looked up and said, I'm sorry. And he goes, for what? I said, I won't see you in heaven. And I got in trouble for making that. He went to Carp Anglers Group and turned me in. And here's the treasurer of the club is making statements like that. And
I heard you say that before.
Scott Osmond had to call me. Yeah, Scott Osmond had to call me and let me know that you represent Carp Anglers Group. We're trying to communicate with these people, and you're making statements that they're going to go to hell. At the time, that's how I felt, because he represented himself. So I publicly apologized to him and everything like that, and it all went over at the time. I got to say that to his face. He should have saw it.
Marshall Berta said, he said, I've heard this story 100 times.
Mark, I love you, brother.
Marshall.
My son. That's my adopted son.
Yeah, you guys did some fishing this past fall, didn't you?
You and Marshall?
Me and Marshall teamed up together, and we've been fishing for the last 10 years.
Marshall's a great guy. He really is.
And when I asked him to go down to Texas with me, you just saw his eyes, and he made a statement, I'm going to Texas with Gilbert Huxley. And he was just really astonished. And from that day on, it's always been a close-knit friendship between me and Marshall.
Yeah, well.
Nice growing young star in Indiana, I'm telling you right now, guys.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. He's definitely
He's a good wild water guy. Yeah,
That's
definitely.
it, Ricky Massey, Tommy Pearson, James Sanders,
Who?
all big names now coming up through the stars.
Yeah, we're trying to do something. I don't know.
I mean, somebody's got to take the
Yeah.
initiative, to make sure everybody's remembered, especially somebody like yourself, Gilbert, because like I said,
Well, we had to have
you paved the way
Yeah.
for a lot of carp anglers, like we were saying earlier, we probably wouldn't even know nothing about Del Hollow if you probably wouldn't have brought it, back to Indiana or Indianapolis to share with all the local guys,
You got
Well, it's time to pass the baton, guys, on the legacy of carp fishing. I'm winding down and not have the energy to do that any longer. So fish fighters and some other people, just like the guide service on Del Hollow,
Yeah.
carp guide, who would think
Kenny.
there was
Very-
a carp guide on Del Hollow?
Yeah.
But, back when I first started, people say, what are you fishing for, Gilbert? Or not, what are you fishing for, sir? And I look back, I'd say carp, and they'd laugh. And they would snicker and walk on. But you know, nowadays, what are you fishing for, sir? Carp? Oh yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah, people are definitely getting more curious than what they used to.
If I can get from that point to there, and someone from there to go forward,
Yep.
pretty soon the United States will recognize that carp is not a great carp fishing. It's a great fishing.
Here's maybe, I won't ask this question too much. We just lost Gilbert Huxley.
We had literally, I wonder if his phone died.
I don't know. What the heck? You only have one job, to keep your phone on.
Hello, this is Gilbert. You caught me. I'm not home right now. I'm not around my phone.
Well, he's not home,
I'm
everybody.
fishing, so leave a message.
He said I'm probably, he said hopefully I'm fishing. Yeah, I think his phone died.
What the? Gilbert, you only had one job, man.
Yeah,
Keep your
one-
phone
yeah.
charged.
Keep
One
that
job.
phone on the, Marshall, let's see, the gear attracts people, yeah. Also Ricky Massey, Marshall Brissa, yeah, I agree, people are growing more interest in the carp world. Yeah, they most definitely are, I mean, it's definitely changed over the years,
I'm hoping he probably jumped on here.
He did, he just texted and said phone went dead.
Oh, okay.
Are you there?
Yeah, Gilbert.
Yeah, is this the famous Gilbert Huxley?
Yeah, with the blue card at the bottom of the phone now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
It ain't a TFN podcast if something ain't going wrong, right?
Kidding, no kidding.
Yeah, exactly.
So the question that's going to come up before your phone died. People from your past, or an angler from your past, or an angler that's no longer with us, or somebody that you used to talk to but you don't talk to no more, or who would you like to share? What angler would you be that you would like to fish again with?
Oh, okay, yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple that are no longer with us that, I miss them a lot.
Because I would like to keep their memory alive, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'd rather not say.
Okay, that's quiet.
It's really personal, and
I
I don't
understand.
want to get all emotional here.
You're good.
There's one guy that would really come to mind, but I apologize not to be able to give you really that kind of information.
Nope, you're perfectly fine,
perfect,
Gilbert.
fine.
There ain't nothing wrong with,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he gave me some rods and everything else, and willed me some rods, and I had to go down and fight for him in court once. And I got him, and I've kept him all my life. So,
Wow.
but anyway,
Yeah.
so next question, please.
Let's see here.
Go ahead, spit it out.
What's your favorite local swim that you love to go fish at?
Oh boy, I'm known for this. And when I say three, guys, tell me, you guys say it all at once. Starts with a C. 1, 2, 3.
Canal?
I love the canal. I mean, I can go straight to the canal.
Almost said cataract.
20.
It's like that's a lot of smoke.
I've been fishing that canal for 35 years.
Wow.
Now, do you like to fish it like more like north of downtown or like south of downtown? Because one of the main reasons why when we have the White River tournaments and stuff like that, there's not a whole lot of big fish caught is because of the dams.
Right.
So fish are more up north and more down south.
The canal stretches all the way through downtown, the north side of downtown, and then wraps around and goes into the river. But that's all been cut off from outside the water that goes all the way north. I like the north side of Indianapolis up in Broad Ripple. Anywhere along there, but now
Wait to see
one
Marshall.
of the swims, this has been a big heartache of mine. One of the swims that I've been fishing for so long has been developed into a cement walking path with great big stuff to block any cars. And so I've had to move downstream and the waters where I don't know, and also not very good parking. You know me, I love sitting in my car and fishing.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know you do.
There's not too much left on the canal nowadays.
To where you can do that.
Kessler is the only one left.
Yeah. And you,
Kessler is the only
what's your
one
biggest
left.
fish out of the canal that you've ever caught?
27.9.
What? Canal?
Yeah, the canal has been. I've seen 30. Derek Wonder caught.
Oh, I believe you. That's like, that's very rare. That's rare.
I got a DNR plaque on the wall for 25.5.
No kidding.
Fish of the year, believe that.
Wow.
Fish of the year in Indiana. And I give that here. Here, hang on 1 second.
Yep.
I could just imagine what Gilbert's trophy room looks like.
Oh, he said he's got his own personal carp room.
I bet he
This
does.
is good.
It was 2013
2013.
this year.
Give me a picture of that on the. Yeah, then I'll post it up on our YouTube video.
The one, I got a plaque from the head of the DNR and a certificate from Natural Resources.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Anybody can do that. If you caught a big carp, all you need to do is get a good picture and release it, send pictures of documentation of witnesses, and you can go in and get a chance to win the fish of the year.
Oh, that's kind of cool. I did not know that.
Can you guys hear? Can you guys hear Gilbert pretty good? Can we get thumbs up, hearts, or something? If you can hear Gilbert pretty good. What up, David?
Well, let's see if I got any more questions for you. Oh, okay.
Do you got any questions for us,
Yeah,
Gilbert?
I mean,
Good question. Yeah, I do. What is, I know that you're teaching and the young carpers, with the fish fighters. What's your current status with a young carper in your group?
well, we have
We got what?
2.
We
No, 3.
No, I would say I think we got 3, but that comes along with the donations with the chili meat. We use that money to purchase the juniors. Whatever gear they may need too. You know what I mean?
We have Jimmy Sneed's
Jimmy
son,
Sneed's son.
Logan. We also have Jeremy Burdime's daughter.
Daughter, yep.
Jeremy Dime.
Yeah.
I want to say I think we still have little Dallas too
Yeah,
from
Dallas
Adams Outdoors.
Yeah, I like to say that too.
He's one.
And
So we might have 4.
so, but
I donated those rods that 1 year to your junior.
yeah, who did we give those to?
What?
Those-
Those rods that I donated.
I think we gave them to Jimmy's son.
I think it was Jimmy. I think it was Jimmy's son. It was either.
The other fish fighter. How dare we think about that? Phil's nephew.
Yep, that's who it was. It was Phil's nephew.
Yeah.
Phil Lucas's
It was,
nephew.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was, but I really appreciate, I respect that, because, the future fishing in the future is our young folks. And
That's-
it's not us, it's them. We gotta train, teach, get that respect.
You hear that?
Our group has a great policy, a little saying about that, and I wish I knew it word by word, but it's got something to do with teaching and
Teaching
respect for the carp
teaching
and everything.
our future carp anglers, kids, all about carp fishing and what and how much you should respect the carp and the thrill, the challenge, the excitement,
That's what gets them.
Oh, yeah.
That's what got me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
the pull of the rod from one of those big bad boys.
David,
I
you'll,
know.
hey, I didn't mean to cut you guys off, but David, you'll have to get a hold of James Sanders and reserve you a table. You need to probably do that within the next couple days because we've
It's
already
next
got.
weekend.
Yeah,
Not this weekend, next
Yeah,
weekend.
because it's like a week and a half, maybe, or a week and a half away. So hit up James Sanders and get you a booth, and then I'll get a hold of you and we can get everything set up on the 18th. You can come and pick your spot where you want to be at or whatnot.
Okay, I can do that. I got to talk to Magdalena, she wants to ship down some stuff. just to have it for display.
Oh yeah, I tried to get a hold of them before. I guess our communication wasn't quite there. World Classic Bait, and they got some great product. Would love to see them there.
Yeah, and I've got some stuff here I can use as demos.
Yeah.
And then take orders from that too. So I'll talk to her and see what she'd like to have.
Okay, that'd be
And
great.
for the people that's watching, like I said, with us talking with the junior fish fighters, like Gilbert Huxley donated some rods and they went to the juniors, like that's why we asked about the donations. Like you're gonna constantly hear us ask about the donations because without that, you know what I mean? Like we're not able to have these tournaments and pay for these trophies out of the carp fund.
And also, that's we also pay for tournament trophies like White River Invitationals, the Fall Carp Classics.
I love that.
Yeah, you seen the 2 championship trophies now, Gilbert?
Yes, I have. They're
Nice.
paid up. You gotta have a truck to carry them away.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's fine, David.
So that would be wonderful.
Yeah, I'm going to have those 2 trophies there at the sport trophy. I'm going to have those trophies over at the chili meat, and plus the 2 flyers that's going to go with each trophy, for the
Yeah,
tournaments coming.
yeah.
Because I believe January, February, March, April. I want to say May or June. The White River Invitational is going to start.
May would be great because it's not gonna be so hot.
Yeah.
That is definitely why.
But the only bad part about having it in May though is the
Rain.
rain.
Yeah.
April showers bring May
May
flowers.
yep.
And-
Same does.
And then, of course, the Fall Carp Classics.
I got
is
you, David.
Sometime in October or September, October.
Yeah.
Probably like the beginning of October, most likely. But Gilbert, anybody want to give a shout? We're going to come pretty close to our end of the show. Anything anybody want to give a shout out, or you want to represent? I mean, I know who you represent, but I'm just saying.
But maybe just a shout out, like
Or what?
we.
Oh, here's a question. What would you like to see the future in carp angling come in the future?
I need, what I like to see, I need to see a team of leaderships
Yeah.
that can get together and keep what we got going and keep going. I think Fish Fighters is the first step of that.
Thank you.
Not the final. But I think that's the main thing is to see what I've done so far keep going.
Keep going, exactly.
They become someday, even after I'm gone, become a sports station in the United States.
Oh yeah, definitely, 100%.
And take it off of the rough fish and no rules or anything on handling what you can do with them. Become a sports station, they gotta be there protected by law.
I tell you, one thing I'm kind of excited about, and I think it's going to happen up in Baldwinsville, is they call it the World Classic. Not what's that word I'm looking? The World Carp Classic. Am I saying that right?
I don't even know if I don't know if they're going to have that now.
The World Carp Classics, I guess. Is that what?
It's the world. It's the world's.
That's the world tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the world. It's like
That's where they come in, and Baldwinsville, I think every 4, maybe 5, 6 years gets a chance to have that there. But that's where Team USA comes in.
Yeah.
yep.
And teams all over the world will come in, and you can get a team yourself too, and build a good, nice 5 or 6 people team because they work as a team and rotate.
Yeah.
And you're allowed to have so many people and stuff. It's totally different set of rules and mindset to that World Classic. It's something different.
Right.
A lot of different ways of we don't do it the way they do it.
No.
And there's certain things you've got to obey, and fish handling is one of the biggest things. And so if you make an error in someone sees that you're disqualified, they don't play around.
No, they don't.
Have you heard the news, Gilbert, about the Baldwinsville tournaments not being held no more?
Well, that's always a rumor because it's so much work.
I mean, it's straight from Jenny, or it was straight from Guinea, straight from them.
Yeah, they get basically canceled it, but
you got the original guy up there still.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll ever let it die out. Brandenburg.
Yep.
Not Brandenburg, but I forget his name. But
Jason?
he, Tom?
Is his name Jason?
Yeah, Jason.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he gets wind of it, he'll put it together, but you'll have people running.
Right.
Yeah.
And if he does that at the last second, he won't let it die.
Well, they definitely said they wasn't, yeah, Jason Bernhardt.
Bernhardt, that's it.
Yep.
Yeah, he's first class.
Well, hopefully somebody picks it up, man. I was one of the people that was looking forward to that tournament this year.
Oh, it's so much work.
Oh, I can imagine.
An average person has no idea what they have to do to get that tournament, and all the permits and all the properties they got to get.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, way over my head. I know that.
Yeah, it's definitely a tournament to remember. So hopefully, I mean, really, I think.
Tournaments got staff to do that.
Yeah. I really was getting them would just pick it back up, and just try to weed out the, whatever, or just make it an invite only,
Well, that will be hard to do.
I mean, yeah, because
No, the wooden shoe started that way. It was an invite only, and it was a local thing. And it was up north.
Mm-hmm.
And the wooden shoe tournament is more of a social. And a lot of us guys wanted to get in there and try to win one of those wooden shoes. And so they started inviting people, and if you got in and made a tournament, then you were regular from then on, unless you missed it. Then you got to start all over.
Did they still got that wooden shoe going?
Yeah, they still have it.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering about it, because you're one of them that went to it all the time.
Ricardo
I love
Martinez.
that tournament.
Yeah, that's good.
He says, I have a carping challenge coming up soon.
Big fish.
Southern California.
Oh, nice, nice.
I didn't know that was carping, Southern California.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The winner of the CCC is from Southern California.
Yeah, do you know?
Gilbert told me. Gilbert's the one person that told me that there ain't no carp in Alaska.
No, there ain't.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Because I told him, I said, of all places I want to move to, I would love to move to Alaska. He said, and he goes, James, there's no carp in Alaska. I'm like, what?
No carp there because General Grant couldn't get that far north.
Are you serious?
I would love to go
No,
fish.
I'm serious. The only carp in Alaska is the koi.
Yeah.
And they're in little ponds and stuff during the summer.
Yeah.
And that's it. Everything, the fresh water up there, there's no carp anywhere. And I'll tell you how I know that. Frank Walters and Nara Walters went to every state and caught a carp. And
Oh, I know who you're talking about, the husband.
They had to buy a koi
Yeah.
in Alaska and then let it sit for a couple of days and then catch it.
I remember that. They came to Westside Bait and Tackle one time.
True story. That's a true story.
That is a true story.
I'm gonna have to make it out there to California.
You know that?
They said they got fish over 50 over there.
What Gilbert was just saying, there was a couple that actually went to all 50 states to catch a carp, and they were a travel couple. It was the husband doing all the fishing, his wife was there, but then they tried Alaska, but there wasn't no carp in Alaska. But to get all the 50 states,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
They had to get
They had to buy a koi. They had to buy a koi, put it into a pond for 2 or 3 days until they had to get permission too, didn't they?
Frank and Narda Walters.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep, that's what
And they
Marshall
caught
Wayne
that,
borrowed.
and that was the one they needed for that state.
Are they? One of them passed away, didn't they?
Frank passed away, and Narda, gosh, she's probably 73. She did mountain climbing and
No.
high top mountain
Wow.
views with her feet sticking out over the edge.
Wow.
She's wild. I mean, and she still calls herself Frank and Narda Walters.
That's what Tia Spalding, she said. She said I want to say Jim Domlin done something for the wife. Didn't she have cancer or something?
Did she have cancer one time, Gilbert?
Who's that? His wife?
Yeah.
I'm not.
I think Tia was right. There was a little,
And Carl Hammer just said Bernarda is still out every day hiking.
yeah, I think they did some kind of fundraiser for her at one time. Jim Dolan from Westside Big Tackle did a little fundraiser for her to raise money.
I'm not aware of that.
Yeah.
So I don't talk to Jim very often, and so I really don't have that info.
Right. Tommy talked to Jim a couple days ago.
Yep, he's supposed to be coming to the chili meet too. He's gonna stop by. Hey, this Ricardo Martinez, he said the challenge in this tournament that he's fishing in Southern California, the challenge is no pack bait. You can only use whatever bait is on your hair rig.
Yeah, no back.
Yeah, so you can't throw no pack out, no boilies out, no nothing.
No boiling shit, no chum.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you can chum boilies during the tournament.
Yeah, but no backs, and whatever's on your hook bait is the only thing that can be on there.
Yeah,
No,
It's,
no pack bait attached.
Southern California.
Well, hey Gilbert, I think it was a great show. I think we're
Oh, it really was.
yeah, great talking to you.
Great catching up, Gil,
Oh,
for
definitely,
sure.
Gilbert.
It's been a while.
The king.
It's just another way I can
Yeah.
reach out and spread the word.
Right.
So thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for coming to our show. I guess we're coming to the end. Again, Gilbert, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for everything that you've done for
yeah,
the
definitely.
Carper and community,
Right.
over the years, and what you'll apply continue to do for more years to come too.
Exactly. So,
I'm thrilled to see what Team Fish Fighter does in the future, and I'll be following you guys all the way.
oh, nice.
Well, we was, last year we kind of had a rough year with COVID and everything being around and everything, so we didn't get to really, we didn't, along with everybody else, we didn't get to do a whole lot last year, but this year we're definitely going to be out trying to go hard and put out some new content, and we put some long content out. We're going to try a little bit, try some different stuff this year, put some shorter content out to see if we can, get the attention of more people, you know what I mean?
Good. Well, this has been outstanding. I gotta say, this has been a good job.
Yeah. So, again, thanks again, Gilbert, for coming to our show.
You're welcome, everybody.
Yeah, appreciate it. Everybody, Gilbert Huxley, thank you.
You guys all have a great evening, and God bless you all.
You too.
Okay,
man.
thank you, Gil. We love you, man, and we'll talk to you later, brother.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, support your local bait shops.
Always, Adams Outdoors, Naptown Bait and Tackle, Indy Bait and Tackle. I think they're still, around.
Naptown Bait and Tackle, all the people, even people around there that especially got carp fishing in there.
Yeah, not a whole lot of carp fishing going on right now.
No.
But if you are out there, if there's no snow, try to keep them off the gravel. Always talk about carp care.
Yeah, Carp Care. For your online bait shop, Big Carp and Tackle.
Yep. We were just talking about them a little bit ago.
Yep, and
Definitely make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel.
definitely hit that like button.
Don't forget, for the people that's still watching, if you guys got any donations or anything like that you want to help out with the team, get a hold of James Sanders or show up the day of the chili meet, and we'll get it then. Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
If you guys like this, what we're doing,
Yep, give
on
us a
Carp Talk,
thumbs up,
give us a
share
thumbs
this.
up, tell us how we're doing, and even on our YouTube channel, just tell us how we're doing. I love talking about carp fishing, no matter who it is.
I think we can do it all day, really.
All
We'll probably
day.
go on for a little.
I mean,
but when the wives are calling,
Yeah,
it's that time.
James,
Enough the chit chat, boys. Time to come on home.
Stop talking about carp fishing. Stop talking about that trash fish.
Yep. But we appreciate everybody. We appreciate everybody that's watching our live.
Yeah.
We've been trying to do this too, man, just to help get out the word about what carp fishing. Not only that, but to let people know that our videos are on YouTube also, because a lot of people don't even know that our YouTube videos are even up.
So.
And to where we're putting out content that's helping people. So, but we appreciate everybody. Appreciate you guys tuning in. And we're gonna get out of here, man.
All right.
Same old, same old. Let's
Later,
get
guys.
out of here.
Later. Bye.
Later.
See you guys. lines